Hi everybody, today we're going to work on the I can statement. I can solve one-step equations by adding and subtracting. So right here you can see I have an equation, y minus 12.7 equals negative 3.7. There's one thing happening in my equation. I'm going to first draw my train track so I can separate the two sides of the equation. And then I'm going to look at my y. My goal is to get the y isolated or by itself so that I can figure out what it's equal to on the other side of the equal sign. In order to do that, I have to get rid of this minus 12.7. I can do that by doing the inverse of it, so that it's kind of like the opposite operation. So the inverse of subtracting 12.7 is adding 12.7. And you can see that minus 12.7 and a plus 12.7 are opposite pairs, so those will cancel out. And we're just left with y on that side of the equal sign. Well, in order to keep the two sides of the equation balanced, we're going to add 12.7 on this side as well. And then I can just use my calculator to add those two numbers, negative 3.7 plus 12.7. I'm typing that in my calculator, and it equals 9. So I got rid of the subtracting 12.7, I got y equals 9. So we think our answer is 9. Now what we have to do is check it down below. And I'm going to rewrite my original equation up here, but instead of y, I'm going to replace it with our 9 that we think is equal to y. So 9 minus 12.7 should be equal to negative 3.7. If we did this right. I type this first part up to the equal sign into my calculator and I see if it equals negative 3.7. 9 minus 12.7 equals, and I get negative 3.7. This equation checks out, so we can circle our final answer, y equals 9. All right, let's try another example. Okay, here's our second equation. We have negative 8.4 plus x equals negative 13.9. I'm going to draw my train tracks. And here's my variable. I want to get that x by itself, so I need to get rid of the rest of that side, the negative 8.4 plus x. So in order to get rid of the negative 8.4, on the last problem we did inverse. So the inverse of adding would be subtracting. If I subtract 8.4 over here, that's a negative 8.4, take away 8.4. Those are not opposite pairs. Those are not going to cancel out in our humans and snakes and go to 0. So that's not going to work. I need to rethink this a little bit. If I want to get rid of a negative 8.4, I'm going to just add 8.4. Now when I look at this, I have negative 8.4 and a positive 8.4. I know those are opposite pairs and those would go to 0. I would just be left with x on this side, and then I always have to remember to do the same thing to keep my equation balanced. Add 8.4 over here, and I'm going to type that into my calculator. Negative 13.9 plus 8.4, and I get negative 5.5. All right, so right now we think that x is equal to negative 5.5, but we have to check it to make sure. So let's come down here and check it out. I'm going to rewrite my original equation up here, negative 8.4, but now instead of the x, I'm going to plug in negative 5.5 equals, and we'll see what it equals in our calculator. So we'll type in this first part up to the equal sign, negative 8.4 plus negative 5.5, and I do get negative 13.9. So this checks out. I can circle my final answer. X equals negative 5.5. Okay, we have one more example left. Okay, here's our last example, and it's a word problem. So we're going to write an equation for this and then solve it. Dominic cleans the school for $23.94. Now he has $86.50. How much money did he start with? So let's go ahead and mark the text on this. Dominic cleans the school for $23.94. Now he has $86.50. I'm just circling these key numbers. And then that's money, so we'll underline those keywords. And then let's put a box around our question. How much money did he start with? And that question is going to be what we're looking for, and that's always the variable with these equation problems. So how much money did he start with? We don't know. So I'm going to say that's our variable, S, and that's his starting money. Dominic's starting money. All right, and I'm just going to state what S is right away. Now, let's try to set up the equation. So he starts with some money. We don't know how much, so I'm going to start with that S. Then he cleans the school for $23.94. So that's going to add to his starting money, the $23.94. And then it says now he has $86.50. So $86.50 is his total that he has after cleaning the school. So it's equal to $86.50. There's our equation. If we figure out what S is, we can figure out what his starting money was. So let's go ahead and solve this just like we did the other ones. We'll draw our train tracks. And then here's my variable S. I need to get rid of everything on that side with the S to get it isolated or by itself. I have plus $23.94. So I'm going to do the inverse and subtract $23.94. Make sure that's an opposite pair, plus $23.94 minus $23.94. So those would go away to 0. And I'm left with S. And I need to make sure to do the same thing on the other side, minus $23.94. And then I type $86.50 minus $23.94 in my calculator. And we think X equals 62.56. But we have to check it. So we think he started off with $62.56. Down below we'll check. Rewriting our initial equation that we figured out from the word problem, 62.56 plus $23.94, his school cleaning money, and we need to see if that equals 86.50. So again, in my calculator, I'm typing this first part up to the equal sign, 62.56 plus 23.94, it equals 86.50. Yay, it worked. Our equation checked out. We can circle our final answer. And I'm actually going to label it with a $sign too, since this is a word problem and we're talking about money. Okay, I hope this helped. Have a great day.